Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, back with another banger, and today I'm gonna eat food. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, and now I'm gonna leave you with this screen for the next 9 minutes and 40 seconds, so that I can get more watch time and therefore get more watch time. Technically not. Bye. Drop my mic. Get my computer. Where's my book? Where did I? Ah, here it is. Harry Potter. Chapter 4. Wait, I need to put my Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Chapter 4. At Flourish and Blots. Life at Barrow was different as possible from life on Private Drive. The Dursleys liked everything neat and ordered. The Weasleys' house burst with the strange and unexpected. Harry got a shock the first time he looked in the mirror of the kitchen mantelpiece, and it shouted, "Chuck his shot in, Scruffy!" The ghoul in the attic howled and dropped pipes wherever he felt things were getting too quiet, and small explosions from Fred and George's bedroom were considered perfectly normal. What Harry found most unusual about Ron's life, however, was not the talking mirror or the clanking ghoul. It was the fact that everybody there seemed to like him. Miss Weasley fused over the state of his sock, tried to force him to eat 4 helpings at every meal. Mr. Weasley liked Harry to sit next to him at the dinner table so he could bombard him with questions about life with Muggles, asking him to explain how things like plugs and postal service worked. "Fascinating," he said, as Harry talked him through using a telephone. "Ingenious, really. How many ways Muggles found of getting along without magic." Harry heard from Hogwarts one sunny morning about a week after he had arrived at the Burrow. Harry and Ron went down to breakfast to find Mr. and Mrs. Weasley and Ginny already sitting at the kitchen table. The moment she saw Harry, Ginny accidentally knocked over her porridge bowl to the floor with a loud clatter. Ginny seemed very prone to knocking over things whenever Harry entered the room. She dived under the table to retrieve the bowl and emerged with her face glowing like the setting sun. Pretending he hadn't noticed, Harry sat down and took the toast Mrs. Weasley offered him. "Letters from school," said Mrs. Weasley, passing Harry and Ron identical envelopes of yellowish parchment addressed in green ink. "Dumbledore already knows you're here, Harry. Don't miss a trick, that man. You two've got them too," he added as Fred and George ambled in still in their pajamas. For a few minutes there was silence as they all read their letters. Harry told him to catch the Hogwarts Express as usual from King's Cross Station on September the 1st. There was also a list of the new books he'd need for the coming year. Second-year students will require the Standard Book of Spells, Grade 2, by Miranda Goshawk. Break with a Banshee, by Gilderoy Lockhart. Gadding with Ghouls, by Gilderoy Lockhart. Holidays with Hags, by Gilderoy Lockhart. Travels with Trolls, by Gilderoy Lockhart. I said that wrong. Voyages with Vampires, by Gilderoy Lockhart. Wanderings with Werewolves, by Gilderoy Lockhart. Year with the Yeti, by Gilderoy Lockhart. Fred, who had finished his own list, peered over Harry's. "You've been told to get all Longhorn's books too," he said. "The new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher must be a fan. Bet it's a witch." At this point, Fred caught his mother's eyes and quickly busied himself with the marmalade. That lot won't come cheap," said George with a look at his parents. "Lockhart's books are really expensive." "Well, we'll manage," said Mrs. Weasley, but she looked worried. "I expect we'll be able to pick up a lot of Ginny's things second-hand." "Oh, are you starting at Hogwarts this year?" Harry asked Ginny. She nodded, blushing to the roots of her flaming hair, and put her elbow on the buttered dish. Fortunately, no one saw this except Harry, because just then Ron's elder brother Percy walked in. He was already dressed, his Hogwarts perfect badge pinned to his sweater vest. "Morning, all," said Percy briskly. "Lovely day." He sat down in the only remaining chair, but leaped up again too almost immediately, pulling from underneath him a molten grey feather duster. At least that was what Harry thought it was, until he saw that it was breathing. "Errol," said Ron, taking the limp owl from Percy and extracting a letter from its under its wing. "Finally, he's got Hermione's answer. I wrote to her saying we were going to try and rescue you from the Dursleys." He carried Errol to a perch just inside the black door. My air conditioner just opened my door. Where was I? So Ron laid him on the draining board instead, muttering, "Pathetic." Then he ripped open Hermione's letter and read it out loud. "Dear Ron and Harry, if you're there. I hope everything went all right, and that Harry is okay, that you didn't do anything illegal to get him out. Ron, because that would get Harry in trouble too. I've been really worried, and if Harry is all right, will you please let me know at once? But perhaps it would be better if you used a different owl, because I think another delivery might finish one off. I'm very busy with schoolwork, of course." "How can she be?" said Ron in horror. "We're on vacation, and we're going to London next Wednesday to buy my new books. Why don't we meet in Diagon Alley? Let me know what's happening as soon as you can. Love, from Hermione." "Well, that fits in nicely. We can go and get all your things then, too," said Mrs. Weasley, starting to clear the table. What are you all up to today?" Harry, Ron, Fred, and George were planning to go up to the hill to a small paddock the Weasleys had opened. It was surrounded by trees that blocked it from view of the village below. That they could practice Quidditch there, as long as they didn't fly too high. I couldn't use real Quidditch balls, which would have been hard to explain if they had escaped the blown away over the village. Instead, they threw apples for one another to catch. They took turns riding Harry's Nimbus 2000, which was easily the best broom. Ron's old suit and star was outstriped by passing butterflies. 5 minutes later, they were marching up the hill, broomsticks over their shoulders. They asked Percy if he wanted to join them, but he said he was too busy. Harry had only seen Percy at the mealtimes so far. He stayed shut in his room the rest of the time. "I wish I knew what he was up to," said Fred, frowning. "He's not himself. His exam results came the day before you did. 12 OWLS, and he hardly gloated at all." Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, then click these two videos. That's right. There's no subscribe there. It's just 2 random videos. It's the video that's recommended for